Hi there, this is Kassie and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of May the 1st to May the 7th. If you want to check out last week's predictions, you can click on the link above, or if you want to find me for a personal tarot reading, you can always reach me on my website www.cassiekai.com, where you will get 3 free minutes with your subscription and extra free minutes every month. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and every day I post the card of the day, but let's see what the next week has in store for us. For Aries, we had the King of Cups and now the Eight of Pentacles. The King of Cups you got last week puts emphasis on personal relationships, love, feelings, and the Eight of Pentacles this week represents dedication, hard work, and craftsmanship. This card often appears when you are putting in the effort to master a new skill or hone your craft. It indicates a time of diligence and focus where you are putting in the time and effort required to achieve your goals. The Eight of Pentacles suggests that this week you will be committed to your work and willing to put in the hours to become an expert in something, so that's a very good card for professional and practical matters. If you want to know how someone feels about you, their feelings are developing and they have more empathy and more emotional intelligence now, and that will push them to work on your relationship. More, to make more effort. Also, since the energy of the King of Cups is still there, they will be able to balance their feelings with other areas of their life that required a lot of their energy. For instance, they will be able to balance work and personal life, or their logic with compassion and intuition, and that will help them to connect with you on a deeper level. Astrologically, the Eight of Pentacles is the Sun in Virgo, and that means you will get more clarity in those areas of your life that Virgo represents, like your health, your communications, your career, and also the details of something that you need to take care of. The strong days of this week will be Wednesday and Sunday. For Taurus, we had the Six of Swords and now the Hierophant. The Six of Swords that you got last week shows that you probably felt the need to move to a new destination, which seemed a little uncertain or ambiguous, so there must have been movement and some interesting communications too, but also some hesitation. Now this week, the Hierophant shows that things are getting more serious or something in your life is getting more official, and you're given the permission to change and go beyond current boundaries. The Hierophant stands for traditional approaches and long-held knowledge. That's why it's likely that someone will explain something to you, or someone will make a confession so that you will be less confused about something that was vague and uncertain last week. If you want to know how someone feels about you, if it's a new relationship and you are still at the dating stage, there is a desire for something more permanent or more traditional, like marriage. The Hierophant often means that someone would make a good husband or a good wife. However, for some of you, the Hierophant shows that feelings are influenced by some sort of commitment that the other person has. For instance, they are married or you are married, and that will affect your relationship somehow. The Hierophant is associated with Taurus, and that's why there might be someone in your life who's Taurus Sun or Ascendant, and that person will play a significant role this week. If you're waiting for an important document to be issued, this week you will likely get it. The strong day of this week is Friday, as that's the day of Venus, and Venus is the ruler of Taurus and by extension of the Hierophant. For Gemini, you had the Magician and now the Two of Wands. With the Magician you got last week, you must have realized that you have the power to turn your ideas into reality through the application of your skills and resources. And perhaps you decided to take action and start working towards your goals. The Two of Wands you got this week represents taking control and making decisions. You will find yourself at a point where you need to make a choice between two paths. You have the power to take control of your situation and move forward in the direction that feels right for you. This card often indicates that it's time to make a plan and take action, but also to remain open to new possibilities and opportunities. If you want to know how someone feels about you, your egos may clash at this stage, or you want different things and there's a need to find solutions and common ground. This week there might be a temporary pause or a break to figure out what comes next, although some things are already decided. Maybe they feel impatient and you feel impatient and you don't want to wait any longer, in which case you will probably take action in the direction that you want to go, or they will take action to get what they want. Astrologically, the Two of Wands is Mars in Aries, a very strong placement for Mars. That's why this week you will be full of energy, but you will also get angry easily, so it's important that you don't act on negative thoughts and negative feelings immediately without giving yourself some time to calm down, as you may do or say things that you will later regret. The strong day of this week seems to be Tuesday. For Cancer, we had the Sun and now it's the Ten of Pentacles. With the Sun last week, something was made clear and there was no more confusion or uncertainty about a certain matter, or you experienced some very positive vibes around you. The Sun is success, healing, abundance, so energies must have been quite positive for you last week. The Ten of Pentacles you have this week represents wealth, security, and abundance, so you will be dealing with matters that have to do with money, career, but also what makes you feel safe and secure. There will be a supportive group of people around you, maybe your family or community connections. This week you will experience success in one area of your life, or you will find a new purpose that will help you bring more abundance in your life in general. If you want to know how someone feels about you, their feelings are stable. And although stability is usually a good thing, for some of you that means you will feel like nothing is moving forward and there are issues and problems that haven't been addressed. However, the message of this card is that you can make an arrangement that will be comfortable for both of you, not without some compromises and sacrifices though. The Ten of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo, a great placement if you want to have a serious talk with someone, either about a relationship or about a professional situation, or even if you need to make negotiations about a career matter or a matter of property. You will find yourself and others being particularly flexible and adaptable this week. Also, this week you may have a family meeting either to discuss something important or to reconnect with your extended family. For Leo, we had the World and now it's the Ten of Cups. The World is about endings and new beginnings, new opportunities to produce the results and the outcomes that you want. It's also completion, that's why last week you must have experienced something that came to a head. The Ten of Cups you got this week gives the promise of success, so it's very possible that this week you will be very happy with the outcome of a situation or of a relationship. The Ten of Cups shows a very supportive community around you, and that could be a group of people who are on the same wavelength, or it could be your family or people you consider as family, and there might also be a family union or a meeting under very happy circumstances. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they are feeling very happy to connect with you, and you too will feel a sense of emotional fulfillment this week, so I expect that some very good energies will manifest, some very positive vibes around your relationship, and for some of you a relationship may get to the next stage, because the Ten of Pentacles is the higher manifestation of its suit, and that means a higher manifestation of emotions, as that's what cups represent, of commitment and stability. The Ten of Cups is Mars in Pisces, and that's a rather difficult placement for Mars, who's the god of war as we know, and loves to be assertive, active, and even aggressive. But Pisces is a passive sign, so there might be some contrasts between what you feel and what you want to do. Something that happened between March 11 and March 20 may come to a head now, especially involving personal relationships and romantic relationships, while the strong day of this week seems to be Tuesday. For Virgo, it's the Seven of Cups and the World. With the Seven of Cups you got last week, maybe you felt confused or overwhelmed by too many choices or responsibilities. Or maybe you found it difficult to focus on what truly mattered, and there was some wishful thinking, some fantasies, some illusions. On the other hand, the word that you got this week represents fulfillment, completion, and a sense of accomplishment. This week you will probably reach a milestone and you will feel a sense of satisfaction and completion. Now, since you are still under the energy of the Seven of Cups, you may need to make a choice in order to reach a state of completion. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel complete when they are around you. You make them feel safe, calm, and they are looking forward to a new stage in your relationship. For some of you, the world will signal the end of a stage this week, then the beginning of a new chapter, while the world is also associated with long-distance relationships. If you are in a long-distance relationship, this week you may decide to make plans to meet with your partner, or you may decide to take that relationship to the next stage. The world often shows traveling, so you may have to travel this week or to make plans for a trip that will happen later on in a few months, while professionally there might be dealings with people in foreign countries, or you will expand your horizons and you will explore new ways of making money that may involve connections with foreign countries. The world is associated with Capricorn and Aquarius, so there could be people in your life who belong to those signs or ascendants, and in about 3 weeks from now, you will experience a completion of something that will start this week. For Libra, we had the Page of Wands and Knight's the Devil. The Page of Wands always represents fresh energy, new beginnings, passion, new ideas, so maybe something new started last week or you had an idea that pushed you into action. The Devil you have this week represents temptation, addiction, at times negative patterns or habits that are holding you back. It suggests that you may be feeling trapped or powerless in a situation that is causing you to act against your best interests. It also shows an unhealthy attachment to something or someone. It does not necessarily indicate an external force or a person causing these issues, as often it is our own thoughts and behaviors that keep us stuck in negative patterns. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they are seeking a sexually gratifying relationship that will somehow allow them to remain in control. Also, thinking about the Page of Wands that you got last week, there might be a big difference in maturity between you and another person, as the Page of Wands represents someone young or simply inexperienced in terms of what the Devil has to offer. So one of you is seeking the excitement and the maturity that the other already possesses. Also, one of you may be seeking emotional stimulation. Just keep in mind that the person the Devil represents may only stick around for as long as the relationship benefits him or her, as they always have their own best interest in mind. The Devil is associated with the sign of Capricorn, and that's why a Capricorn sun or ascendant person may play a significant role in your life this week. And since Capricorn is associated with Saturn, the strong day of this week seems to be Saturday, which is the day of Saturn. For Scorpio, we had the Queen of Cups, and now it's the Fool. The Queen of Cups is someone in your life who's a water sign or ascendant, and this person is probably someone you share a close emotional connection with, and one way or another they played a significant role last week. The Fool you have now is a new beginning that opens a lot of different options for you, a lot of different possibilities, and generally brings fresh energy that will probably be felt in the area of your personal relationships and in romantic relationships. If you've been having some problems in love, this week you will get the chance to make a fresh start. either to pursue a completely new relationship or to give the chance of a new beginning in an existing relationship that didn't go the way you wanted it to go. If you want to know how someone feels about you, if this is a new relationship, they are starting to have feelings for you, and maybe they have recently fallen for you. Maybe you will find that the feelings of someone are rapidly advancing, so expect they will make some moves this week, moves that you may not expect because the Fool can also be unpredictable. Just make sure that you are not jumping into situations blindly, because the Fool always shows some immaturity. For some of you, this will manifest as an unexpected meeting with someone who's a little unconventional or even eccentric, so you may meet someone this week who's very different from the people you usually date. The Fool is associated with the planet Uranus, and that's the planet of surprises, innovation, and awakening. You may have a sudden realization this week that can make you see a situation from a very different perspective. The beginning of the week between Monday and Wednesday holds the strongest energy. For Sagittarius, we had the Queen of Swords and now it's the Judgment. The Queen of Swords is someone in your life who is an air sign or ascendant, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and there must have been a significant talk with that person, or they played a role in your communications last week, which must have been really busy anyway when it comes to communications, messages, phone calls, emails. With the Judgment this week, you may find that this same person is becoming too critical, too defensive, or even too aggressive. They are processing everything by logic rather than feelings, so if you're expecting an emotional expression or a deeper emotional connection with them, you will find it difficult this week because there will be some distance or there are some patterns from the past that are repeating. Because the Judgment is one of the cards associated with the past and with lessons that we've learned in the past or not, so don't be surprised if this week you will be dealing with a repeat of a previous situation, and the outcome this time will depend on your reactions and on whether the way you respond to the challenge is different from the way you responded in the past. The Judgment is considered one of the karmic cards in Tarot, and that's why this week there may be a fated event or a new beginning that will mark the start of a new chapter in your life. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they are experiencing a range of intense emotions that are probably leading them to see things from a different perspective. They feel the urge to change something significant in their life, and that's especially true if there are other people involved in your relationship, for instance, if they are married or if you are married, and there are many different energies, many different needs, and interests possibly clash. Also, for some of you, this will manifest as news or a message that comes from a person that you've stopped communicating with a long time ago. For Capricorn, we had the Death and now it's the Hanged Man. The Death usually represents significant change both in circumstances and in internal thoughts and emotions. So perhaps something ended last week, but that ending opened a door to something new. The Hanged Man shows the willingness to see things from a different perspective, and it represents a time of introspection, reflection, so this week you may take a step back to reflect on things and also to release control and let things unfold naturally. The Hanged Man is a slow card, and that's why things will probably slow down this week, but that's much needed, especially if things have been confusing. If you have been waiting for too long for something to happen, this week you may want to consider whether this thing or this person is worth your time and worth the waiting. Things seems to be suspended for now, so there won't be much progress. If you want to know how someone feels about you, their feelings are suspended at the moment, as in they cannot make up their mind, they don't know what they want or they don't know what to do, and they are putting their feelings on hold to concentrate on other areas in their life. This is not a good time to put pressure on them because they will probably not react or respond in a very positive way. In fact, they may take distance and become very unresponsive. The Hanged Man is associated with the planet Neptune, which is the planet of illusions, but also of intuition. Be a little cautious because things may not be as they appear to be this week, and there might be aspects of a situation that you cannot see, and for that reason you should trust your gut and your first impressions. For Aquarius, we had the Devil, and now it's the Eight of Cups. The Devil shows that a relationship in your life requires some attention, as things may not have been very positive, or there must have been a sense of addiction, a sense of obsession, either on your end or from another person's side, and there might be some patterns that keep repeating, patterns that you are unable to break, and at the same time there's very strong attraction, very intense feelings, and the sense that you cannot not be in this relationship. However, the Eight of Cups that you got this week indicates that you are seriously thinking of leaving a situation behind in favor of something else, a new calling that seems to be more appealing and more in tune with your current energy. There might be some second thoughts though, as the past still holds strong influence on you, so this week expect that there might be some uncertainty, some hesitation, and a feeling that you are pushed or pulled in different directions. If you want to know how someone feels about you, it appears that they are taking distance and they are not putting a lot of effort in your relationship at the moment. There might be a sense of disappointment or disillusionment with the current situation, and maybe things have been stuck and there wasn't real progress. And that's something that affected the relationship in a rather negative way. It's clear that your relationship needs to pass to the next stage, and for that an emotional transition will be needed so that you both feel ready to take responsibility and take things to the next level. Astrologically, the Eight of Cups is Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn loves to put restrictions so that he teaches us some much needed lessons, and in Pisces those lessons seems to be in the area of personal relationships. The end of the week seems to be the strongest, so it's between Friday and Sunday that you will experience the energy of this card the most. For Pisces, we had the Three of Swords, and now it's the Ten of Wands. The Three of Swords shows you taking distance from a situation, from a relationship, as that's basically a disruptive card. It's a card of separation. So for some of you, this could be a break in your relationship or a pause or even an argument that caused some distance. And with the Ten of Wands this week, it appears that things have not yet been resolved, as the Ten of Wands indicates pressure, tension, and generally heavy energies that make you feel overwhelmed. This can manifest either in your personal life as heaviness in your connection between you and another person, or in your professional life as you taking on too many responsibilities, and that may not be fair or balanced as you probably took on the responsibilities of another person too. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they're feeling some kind of weight or pressure, so perhaps they feel responsible for something that is happening between you two, perhaps even guilty, or perhaps the energy between you is very dense and there are a lot of issues to resolve, especially if there are other people involved in your connection one way or another, as that could make things even more complicated. Astrologically, the Ten of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius, which means there are some blockages and restrictions, but there's also responsibility and a desire to succeed. There's also a need to broaden your horizons, to learn, to grow, and to expand. For that reason, you may find the limitations of a relationship too restrictive. The end of the week between Friday and Sunday seems to hold the strongest energy. So these were the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of May the 1st to May the 7th. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you again next week. Have a great week.